Hello and welcome back to the Unplayables podcast from all of us here at the University of Gloucestershire. I'm joined by the same lineup as last time. Actually, we got Connor, Matthew, Art, and Ryan. Say hello, guys.
Hello.
Right.
You're right.
Hello.
I like that. One at a time. Lovely. And I'm obviously I'm George, your host again for today. Back by popular demand.
Yeah. Well,
How are you all doing this morning? You all right? Not too
Bit
tired.
tired.
yeah. A bit
yeah.
Yeah.
My voice kind of went when I said hello, but
Art's out for the rest of the podcast. Right, so as our last podcast was such a big hit, we decided to drop another one. By the time this one's out, we're hoping that one's out. So,
yeah.
well, actually, I just said it was a big hit. So,
yeah.
Great to smash 1 million views on our first video. Thanks to all the subscribers. Connor will be doing his 200k Q&A tomorrow. Anyway, so today we got some quite interesting topics to discuss. And we're going to start off with Arsenal Football Club, I think. Yeah, the famous.
What?
The mighty
What's
Gunners.
Arsenal Football Club?
Nice one, Connor.
What's football?
So, obviously, Arsenal not been doing too well lately, some may say. You know, you can always find positives. Can't you guys?
Not at the moment.
No, come on, let's be positive.
Connor usually finds positives.
Aubameyang scored.
Right, that's enough of that, Connor. Arsene Wenger, go. What do you think? Connor, let's start with you. You're an optimist.
Well, I have always been Wenger in,
Okay.
because he's pretty much built what I know football to be and Arsenal Football Club to be.
So no one's got tears in their eyes.
But now I think it has to come to an end
Yeah.
soon. Well, I think he has to. This run that we've been on, it's different now because the players don't seem to be playing for him. They're playing for themselves if they are playing at all. And I think he needs to say that he's leaving at the end of the season to kick us back into some sort of
like, this is going to end.
and then he can leave and hopefully with the Europa League and get us in the Champions League for whoever takes over. But I don't know if that will happen, especially if it carries on like this.
Yeah.
At this moment in time, I can't see us beating any Premier League team. Like we lost to Brighton way too easily. But that's all I have to say.
That is all you have to say. Art, would you like to? I know you've probably got something to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the same as Connor. Like, I've kind of been reluctant to go into the Wenger out brigade for a while.
It's still a harsh word. I don't like it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
2 words.
Phrase.
But yeah, I think it's probably time now. But it's just the manner in which he leaves, I guess, is like I'd probably give him till the end of the season.
Yeah.
But we need clarity on what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Unlike what happened last year, and even like with players and stuff, you can tell that it's just a lost cause with them.
They're going
as well.
through the motions, aren't they? Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, even when Aubameyang scored on Sunday,
So
I mean, I didn't even really celebrate that much. It was just like, oh, we scored. Wow. And then even Aubameyang himself, when you're in that position, you'd expect him to go and get the ball back,
Yeah.
put it on the centre circle. But he just kind of, it was just kind of like he was in it for himself kind of thing, and not to try and get another goal back.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just weird at the moment.
It's been a bit of a funny season, hasn't it, for Arsenal? I think it's been, they've actually spent money, quite a bit of money, but it's like, when you think of like a Arsene Wenger team, you wouldn't really see, I wouldn't really see Aubameyang, Mkhitaryan. Well, maybe Mkhitaryan, arguably, but do you know what I mean? Like, his teams are like molded units. They all know what each other are doing.
yeah, well,
So bringing in someone massive in January isn't.
Yeah, I've always said, last few years I've sort of realised it. Even though the Invincibles was something incredible, and I don't think we'll see again for a long time.
Mm.
He, in my opinion, his most impressive period at Arsenal was from around 2005, 2006 to like 2012, 13,
Yeah.
14, because we had the players we had and the consistency at which he got us into the top four. I don't know how he did it. I still don't. We were playing Shamak and Bentner
Yeah.
on a consistent basis and winning games and getting into that top four. Everyone was saying, "Oh, we're not winning trophies, we're not competing," but ask any other manager to do that and have the patience to do that. I don't think they could.
No, I don't think anyone was expecting us to win trophies.
No, well, so people at that time, people were starting Wenger out just because we weren't winning anything. But
well, maybe like
later on, into that period.
like towards the time winning the FA Cup, but then after that one, and then the one after that, it's kind of you got to kick on now. Like you got to actually do something in the league, which we kind of did the next year in 15-16, but then after that the decline has just been
last season and this season, the finishing outside the top four for the first time in 21 years or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That was the turning point for me, probably. Something's changed.
Glory hunter. No, I'm joking. Talking of glory hunters, Matthew and Ryan.
Excuse me?
From a Chelsea fan perspective, obviously you're both from Chelsea, so it's all right. What do you think about Arsene Wenger, and what do you think about what's going on at Arsenal at the moment?
I mean, like, I kind of feel sorry for, like, because the thing is they've proven to be at times like a good team, and I think over the years they have shown like they've got quality players in the past. Like, you know, they've had the likes of Nasri, Fabregas, who now we have, and stuff like that. And I think he's done a good job, but I think, if I'm honest, I think he does need to go now.
Yeah.
I think he's just not adapting to what this league is about as it is now to what it was then. Because I think when it, you know, because he did revolutionise it when he first came in. But I think now, you know, it's a lot more just based on possession and everything. You've got to be trying to go and win the ball, whereas you know, like you look at the final in the League Cup, as Gary Neville said, they were just walking around. I mean, I know we did that against City in the league, granted, but I mean, that's sort of stuff that you know you've got to be trying changing. So I think you know, you just got to be. I think he's just got to go. I think, frankly.
Yeah, I think the thing for me is if you look at how, like, you make reference to that game a few weeks ago, the cup where the Arsenal were like a shadow of what we know they can do. If you look at that cup final compared to the FA Cup final last season,
definitely. That's
you
what I mean.
would not think it's the same manager.
Like, I kind of think last season, when it comes to the FA Cup final, then I think some of the obviously all the players didn't know what Wenger was going to do.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just speculating, but maybe they just had it in the back of their minds. They thought that was going to be it for him, and so they were trying to play for him.
Yeah,
but they weren't sure. But maybe that's what they assumed.
Yeah,
and then he's just stayed on, signed the contract.
Yeah,
and they don't, and they've gone on this bad run, and they don't really know what to do, and they've just stopped caring.
Ryan, do you have it? What are your thoughts?
Just the same as everyone else, really. Like, well, from a Chelsea perspective, I'm used to managers going, if they don't finish in, like, we're not going to finish in the top four.
Yeah,
Conte's going to go. If we don't win the league, the manager will go. So, I'm surprised he didn't go sooner. Well, I'm surprised and not surprised. Like, it seems like the owner, Gazidis, is that?
And Kroenke.
Yeah, they just seem content with making money and not about results, really.
I think Kroenke's the one that's more financial, but Gazidis actually wants us to progress.
Yeah,
Mm.
he's just not that good at it, or he
Yeah.
wasn't.
Well,
he doesn't recognise.
He's kind of like one-man army.
Yeah,
in,
Mm.
Yeah.
like, you can't really say anything to Stan because he's
he has no
Yeah.
idea what's going on.
yeah.
He probably doesn't even know we lost the cup final.
And because his son Josh
Yeah,
is in London for a few months as well, and he wasn't at the cup final
Yeah.
against City, and he usually goes to cup finals. That's another kind of thing that people have been saying that might be a sign that
Mm.
Wenger might be going
Yeah.
at some point soon.
yeah,
Mm.
Mm.
yeah.
How interesting. Right, I've got a proposition for you.
Okay.
You're Arsenal fans, right? If I said Arsene Wenger leaves at the end of the season and next season you get top 4, or Arsene Wenger stays and next season you win the FA Cup, which would you prefer?
What is next season top 4 or this season?
So next he leaves at the end of this season.
And
Next season you get top 4, or an FA Cup, another FA Cup with Wenger.
That's probably top 4 for me.
Yeah.
Because we haven't been in. Well, we
Yeah.
won't have been in it for 2
No.
years, and Champions League football attracts the best players.
Yeah.
You
so-
attracted Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan without.
Yeah,
him.
well, that's another factor. Maybe they think change is coming from somewhere
Yeah.
to push on next season with or without Arsene Wenger. Most likely without Arsene Wenger.
I just don't think they're not Arsene Wenger signings.
No,
are
they're
they?
not.
No,
It's something
it's Sven.
Mislintat, and
Yeah.
the new chief scout.
Yeah. I think, and I've seen it said lately. I think he should have left after the FA Cup final. You know, like, to
Yeah.
go
I,
out on
I
a
agree
high.
with that.
But I think he's so Arsenal that he's just holding out for that one last big win, isn't
Well,
he? But
he's had it 3 times now.
true.
Mm. Yeah.
Is the
Oh.
FA Cup a big win though?
No,
No, like, I mean, in first time it was, and second time, and then even when you look at last season, it kind of was, because we didn't finish in the top 4, so that was kind of his only thing
Yeah,
for that year. But
but we weren't that good a team.
yeah,
Yet we still won an FA Cup.
so I
What
think
was Spurs done? Sorry.
for him, it's quite a big thing, but now he doesn't have that, so there's no safety for him, I guess.
No.
There's no safety net.
Yeah.
Europa League income.
Oh.
W.
What
Yeah.
happens when you lose to AC Milan?
I will have to go see some sort of like psychiatrist. No,
Seriously though, if you lose to AC Milan, you go out the Europa League, and you're not getting top 4, how do you feel?
obviously sad that he either needs to announce that he's going or he needs to go. But I don't think he would go immediately. I think he
No,
would
he's too
stay.
stubborn.
He'll stay till the end of the season.
I
way.
saw in some papers today that there was rumours. I'm not obviously saying that this is true, but there's rumours that he's going to carry on to his full 2-year contract.
Yeah, I saw it on BBC.
Yeah,
Why-
regardless of what happens this season.
Why? Well, why wouldn't he? He's been. I don't know how much he's been paid. Something like ridiculous. He's
Yeah.
a top
Whoa,
Premier League
it's not
manager.
about the money, Connor.
No, right. If you're just a job perspective,
Yeah.
you're being paid. You have a contract for another year.
Mm.
You're not gonna just say, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not the best for this club. I'm gonna leave and not have a job."
Yeah.
Well, the club's like his child, I reckon.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to leave it, does he?
Yeah.
Well, if they sack him, he'll get a payout. So
True.
Yeah. Well,
Plus-
they need someone to sack him.
I think the thing he needs to realise, well, obviously he knows more about this than I do, but if he leaves, there's no way that's just going to be it for his connection with Arsenal.
No.
Yeah.
I think.
But,
Yeah.
but I think before the end of last season, he said even if he's not at Arsenal, he'll still manage somewhere
Really?
else.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Oh,
he.
yeah, I think he
for
did,
a few
yeah.
more years. Like, I think he'd be perfect. I think me and Ryan were talking about this. National team job,
Yeah.
either France or even England, but I don't see England happening.
No.
But France
No.
possibly.
France would be a good one.
Because
She's French.
that's perfect for him because he doesn't need to buy players or create a squad. The
Yeah.
squad will his hopefully the younger players will look up to him and he can develop the younger talent, and that's one of his strengths, not the buying of players. And
Yeah.
he doesn't need to do that with the
True.
national team.
That's a good
And
point.
you can convince them to come to Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great club. All right, so we said about that. So we're both you're both kind of Wenger out.
Yeah.
But
But
as much as it's going to hurt you,
Yeah.
who comes in to replace him?
For me,
Uh,
you go.
I say if he goes before the end of the season,
Mhm.
actually, either way,
Yeah.
whenever he goes, Ancelotti.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly the same thing.
And why?
Well, he's proven in the Premier
Mm.
League, and I think just he actually, I'm caught between him and Lowe,
Okay.
Yeah.
but I think I'd go for him because he's just proven at club level, and
Yeah.
there just seems to be, well, just needs something different now. And although he's not completely different to Wenger, I think he's used to winning on a more regular basis. So that could only be a positive thing for us if
Yeah.
we get him in.
Yeah, he's used to winning. He's used to managing top players, and hopefully he can attract the top players and manage players like Aubameyang and Özil in the best way. I think with Lowe, I wouldn't mind if he came in either, because maybe not now, but at the end of the season, if Ancelotti came in now, I wouldn't be. Well, I'd be alright with that because he's done a similar thing before.
Yeah.
He knows how to take a squad halfway through the season.
Yeah.
But with if Lowe came in, I'd be a bit excited with his connection with Özil, because that I think he could get even more out of him. But I think Ancelotti could do a similar thing, and with the whole squad, I agree. I think Ancelotti at the end of the season, with Arsene Wenger announcing now that he's going, would be the best scenario for everyone.
What do you think of Ancelotti's style of football? Either of you?
It's well,
Oh, we could ask the Arsenal fans. Ask the
Yeah.
Chelsea fans, to be honest.
yeah, ask Chelsea fans.
Well, in my opinion, under Ancelotti, we played the best football we've ever had. We scored the most amount of goals, although City will break that. Like, his first season, he won the double.
Yeah.
We were insane. Drogba won the Golden Boot. Anelka was great. Malouda was great. Lampard was great. The whole team was great. The second season wasn't as good, but we came second, and he got sacked in the tunnel at Goodison, which was quite
Chelsea
unfair.
is that? How Chelsea is that? Matthew, you can't say pathetic. This
Oh,
is
it
the
was
club
though,
that you
because like
support.
he done really well in his first season, like Conte has, and then he gets sacked for literally coming second.
Like Conte will. No, he's not.
Well, he won't come second, admittedly, but
Liverpool will.
like this is something that the club. This is why we'll keep having messes like the second season after winning a league, because we just don't have a consistency. Like we've never experienced a manager being longer at a club for more than 3 years at best. So
Why
How
did-
does that make you feel?
Yeah.
I'm kind of annoyed, sort of thing, because
But we keep winning things.
yeah, but either way, we now that we've lost our complete spine of 2012.
Oh, jeez.
What?
6 years ago, is that?
Yeah, but Terry left last season, at the end of last season. That's now like dressing room wise, like as a character, we need someone to step up for that now.
What about
Gary
Gaz?
Cahill.
Cahill, I can see him going in the summer.
Really?
Yeah,
He's out of the team. He's on the wrong side of.
Yeah, but he just might want to stay comfortable.
Yeah, but I think
But-
I think Chelsea would force him out. I'd be surprised if he stayed.
Yeah, but I don't see who would see like Gary Cahill as like an attractive signing.
I'd say a
someone like West Ham.
mid-table team they'd take him for the experience.
Return to Bolton.
I was going to say that.
No, I think
But,
Premier League.
Like what Matthew was saying. I know we've gone on a bit of a tangent, but
No, that's all right.
Chelsea do need change, but so do Arsenal. So
Yeah, like we haven't played good football in a few years now.
Yeah.
So
I think Ancelotti could be the man to do
Yeah.
that. But will he be interested in a move to Arsenal?
Yeah.
Well, he is.
like, he's been in London quite.
No, he's
lot
moved. He's
recently.
moved into
Oh,
North
has he?
London. Yeah, he's living in North London right now.
Stop exciting.
Oh right. I mean,
But
Matthew, stop.
he has been spotted watching Chelsea
Yeah.
with Roman Abramovich quite a few times.
and
So,
Paul Clement.
I
yeah.
reckon he's going to West Ham then. It sounds like. All right, and so, do you want a final word on Wenger or not?
Well, I'm not going to say the O word.
Wenger out.
But he should leave.
Of his duties.
Yeah, I mean, love the man, but every story has an ending.
Either
Oh.
either way, he's still going to get a statue probably at the
Yeah.
ground.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes
so
it's,
good.
it's best
Sorry
to
about the
just rip off the band-aid instead of just leaving it on.
Yeah.
Can I say one more thing as well? There are some
Yeah.
people on Twitter that are like younger than like 25, 30, and they're saying Arsene Wenger has ruined football for them. KSI in particular.
All right.
He's created football for them.
That's in
Can
the
I
title.
just the amount of disrespect and the people saying they want him like killed and stuff? It's ridiculous. I'm just trying to say.
Well,
that.
I don't
obviously.
think all of it's serious though.
Some of it.
Satire.
Like,
Have you seen some? Well, some of the rants and stuff are ridiculous.
okay, but
Yeah, but is
like,
that not Arsenal's fan base?
No, it's not.
Are they not
It's
ridiculous?
just the select few
Do
that
you
are
not-
more vocal.
Have you ever watched Arsenal fan TV?
But yeah, I think now more than never the majority want him to leave. But in the past it was just the more vocal people that were speaking out, and it seemed like the majority, but it is the majority now.
Right. That's
I think if because we were in the League Cup final, do we get Europa League anyway?
No.
Or-
No.
All right, cool. Yeah, I think if
Please.
it would be best if we don't win it this season, then we just don't
Just crash and burn.
qualify.
No European
But, yeah,
football like
just-
Chelsea.
No, Chelsea did, yeah.
But I think we probably will end up qualifying. Which
Yeah, I
is,
know,
so
but-
I think
Especially
it's
if a new-
best to win.
Yeah, but even when you look at our form,
Oh yeah,
nothing's guaranteed now.
well, if we lose like every game,
Burnley
we-
could
I
pick
mean,
AC
it.
because-
Milan are going to beat you. I'm telling you.
Mm.
huh?
AC Milan are going to beat you.
Like,
Probably
I-
at the San Siro.
San Siro, yeah.
Yeah.
The Sin San Siro.
It's the San Siro.
like, especially if a new manager comes in. If he comes in clean slate, no European football to
Yeah.
really.
Get
Deal
Brendan
with.
in.
I feel a bit bad for him.
Oh yeah, but
Whoever comes in.
Brendan Rodgers is
Yeah.
a shout as
I
well.
think he'd be a,
No,
like,
he'd be an alright.
He's a world class coach,
and
but he needed
At a
director of
semi-professional
football.
club.
yeah,
I think
So
all,
Mark Overmars in.
I think all the people we suggested they would be
Those
all right for
per-
2-3 years, but not.
Yeah.
There's no one's going
We
to
just
replace
But
Arsene
with
Wenger.
it-
need
Yeah.
someone to bridge the gap.
but
Football doesn't really
And
have
football
that
doesn't,
anymore,
yeah.
does it?
no,
Doesn't have
exactly.
that.
Yeah,
Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger.
It's
I
just
still think it's possible. It's just you need to fight. you just
I
need to-
wish it was
like-
that, but
well, like an Eddie Howe, if he was a,
yeah.
I don't know,
Sean
if
Dyche?
if he developed at a bigger club, he might have. I don't know. We don't know what would happen.
I think Rodgers would be a really good appointment.
Yeah, he'd
but
be a-
he wouldn't be the most popular choice. I don't think.
No.
No, but I think
No way.
Yeah,
I think
that's
a
the-
lot of people would take him. Though.
I think if he would be the guy to get the job, he'd need to hit the ground running straight away.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
The fans would be on.
yeah.
I think anyone that comes in is going to have to.
No,
It-
I think
No,
it'll
Well,
be
the
more
shoes
so
you've
with
got
him.
to fill.
Yeah, because if
It
it
could be a
experienced the league.
Moyes-esque
Yeah.
situation.
Mm.
Yeah.
Especially because, he didn't really bottle it, but
No.
Liverpool bottled the league.
But his
that year,
handling of
so-
big players was quite good, though. In fact,
Yeah, look
dealing
at-
with like Luis Suarez and stuff.
Suarez was insane. Like
Like-
so was Sturridge, even Sterling.
So I mean, he's proven to make players like top players work, and even bring youngsters like Sterling from nothing to now
Fair enough. Yeah.
somehow
From
being.
nothing.
Well, no, but like
He's
being.
been playing in the Premier League since he was 17.
No, but like when he came onto the scene at Liverpool, people were like going, "Oh wow, who's this?" And he gets his move to Man City.
That's
you
just-
know, so I
I
mean,
mean, you've missed a bit.
Yeah, there's a
You've
whole
missed-
I'll have-
chunk, a few
well-
years, but yeah.
I my head hurts.
Right. That's enough on Arsenal then. And we've already touched a bit on Chelsea, but we're going to go there now. Going to go to the bridge. Matthew and Ryan, this is more your forte.
Matthew is debatable.
Very good.
Why do you think that Conte has struggled this season off the back of winning the league last season?
Simple. The summer transfer window. I mean, just he wins the title, and he's already thinking ahead. Right, I'm going to get some signings, and then he's obviously got a name like we were linked with Sandro, Van Dijk. I think and Mata obviously who we got. Lukaku, but Man United pipped us. And that summed it up, like losing out on targets, and I think that really annoyed him because the club were like going, okay, well, instead of Sandro, we'll get you,
That's Alexandro.
Alexandro, yeah, we'll get you Emerson. Is that his name?
Yeah, but that was in January. So.
Well, and then like going, I want Vidal. Oh, we'll get you Drinkwater. I mean that sort of, he wants the top signings. And we just didn't get a lot of them.
How realistic are they? Like, Juventus wanted 80 million plus for Alexandro, 80 million for a left back.
I mean, yeah, that is excessive.
And Van Dijk, he only wanted a Liverpool move. Vidal, he didn't want to come this summer.
No.
So he could have made more realistic options because the board, if they can't get that option, they'll go, okay, we'll go with our option then.
Yeah.
You should have given them a few instead of just saying, I want this player and only this player.
Mm-hmm.
He's moaned about the club's ambition, but most of our record transfers have come in the last 2 years when he's been manager. So we bought big, but just because they're not the players he wanted, maybe should have made better targets.
Perhaps. I mean, some of them have worked though, like Rudiger. That one, I think he was one of the better players against Manchester City, frankly.
Not really hard though, was it?
It wasn't, no, but I think he's proved to be he's keeping Cahill out the side, I think.
Not that hard though, is
But
it?
again, not that hard, but I think he's been a fairly good signing. Morata's an interesting one. Like, he hit the ground running and then he just falls over now constantly thinking it's the Spanish league.
He's not a Chelsea type striker though. Like, the type of striker Chelsea is Drogba, is Costa.
Yeah, but I mean, even once he's in the club, as a manager, wouldn't you try and adapt to him to play to his strengths?
Yes.
I mean, I think we've tried, but
I think Conte's too rigid. I think with expecting way too much, like wanting Alexandra or whatever, and wanting all these absolute top players, if you get somebody slightly worse that's similar, like Emerson or whatever, you have to adapt. You have to be able to adapt as a manager. I'm sure Arsene Wenger's wanted some top targets in the past.
Messi,
and
Ronaldo, so close to signing,
and not got them, and he's had to adapt constantly.
And he's not moaned about the board's
no,
vision.
he's never once disrespected them.
What Conte's done, he did really well in his first year, and I think the writing was on the wall over his future when he texted Costa that his future was over.
His future was over.
Because what Costa brought to the team and the group of friends he had, he was friends with the majority of the team.
Yeah.
And if you get rid of that player in that way, it's gonna
Ripple effect.
Yeah.
Butterfly effect.
Had Conte not sent the text, do you think he would have stayed anywhere this summer?
Well, there was talk that he'd leave in the last summer anyway. But I think he stayed on for a bit more money, maybe for a bit longer. But it seems likely that will go in the summer now. But this season, a lot of relationships are rocky. Like David Luiz, he's been out the team.
Yeah, for ages.
Andreas Christensen's form has been
better,
keeping him out of the team. But recent weeks have been a bit shaky. But I think he'll do well. And then Hazard has been slightly critical. So has Courtois.
Hazard I get because obviously he's a player that does better connecting with like a target man to then make the runs for them. And then and yet he's being forced to play as a striker, which he can't really do. I mean he can't. He can't really do it.
Why spend 58 million on Morata, 18 million on Giroud if you're going to leave him on the bench
and play
for
a
Barcelona
false nine.
And Manchester City,
but the weird
two
thing,
of the best teams in Europe.
The weird thing is that against Barcelona, for some reason, that worked quite well.
Yeah, but like a lot of the time we went long, and Hazard doesn't win headers against PK or
No.
Umtiti. He didn't win headers against Otamendi.
Laporte, no, he didn't.
Like Giroud, he might not be as quick as the other.
If he
front
holds
three.
up the ball, and
Yeah.
and then like he allows Hazard and Willian to make those runs. That's what I mean. And then
Yeah, that's why I think he should have started. But
Same.
I agree, but I think the reason why Conte went for Hazard and that up front is the counter-attacking threat, but he didn't
what
realise
counter-attacking
What
threat?
we didn't even play.
the reason. Let me finish. I don't think he realised how high Barcelona would press. I think he thought they could play out like counter-attack, but from on the ground and from the back, if you know what I mean. But Barcelona didn't allow that.
We're
And I
not going
think
to outpass Barcelona.
on the
Oh,
counter,
no,
but
I
on
don't
the
know.
on the counter, but on the ground, rather than lumping it forward. It's a slightly different thing.
Yeah, but when Christian did that ended badly. We ended up conceding.
But yeah, exactly. I agree. I think Giroud should have started. I think he should have realised that Barcelona would press high like that.
I mean, like, he complains about, like, I think he has recently saying, "Oh, I've not had a striker because Morata's just not good enough." That was like during January. Then we were linked with Dzeko and we got Giroud, who, frankly, I think they're quite similar in terms of what they do. Well,
Not
tall.
really.
No,
Giroud wouldn't score the goal Dzeko scored against you.
no,
He wouldn't run in behind. And
no,
then
but they're gonna
take it
hold up.
first time on his weak foot over Courtois, and then Dzeko wouldn't be able to pluck the ball from out of the sky and
Stop it,
just feed runners like Giroud does.
Oh,
But,
you're an Arsenal fan.
I'm sorry.
But I mean, when we signed Giroud, who I thought was actually as Art was very disappointed. I thought a lot of Chelsea fans were quite happy with that signing because they knew he was a proven player.
he's a 35 mil player.
so
I don't know how you got
underrated.
him.
And,
Massively
Best touch in the league.
He finally gets him,
It's not-
and when we saw him against West Brom, he was really good that game. Really,
Got the assist for Hazard's goal.
yeah, and he should have scored.
He was in the walls a bit though. They were kicking him around.
He was taking the brunt, and then to be benched against,
Literally.
and then he was benched
You're
against
taking the Chris.
United, and then
And Barcelona.
and Barcelona and City, and yet when Conte throws Giroud on 70 minutes on, okay, that kind of makes sense. You got 20 minutes to play left, but then he puts Morata on for 2 minutes. What's the point at that point? I mean,
So do you think Conte should go, or do you think he will go?
well, he is going to go. If he stays, somehow he's either apologised to the board amazingly, which I don't think he's going to, or I don't want him to leave, but he probably is, and I think a few fans are getting sick of him playing the false nine formation because Hazard isn't hitting his best form at the moment from it, and then it's also causing more speculation about Real Madrid wanting to sign him, and because Courtois had a pop at Conte as well after the United game, for taking Hazard off. So I think
He could be going Madrid as well. So
and he could be going to Madrid. So I think a lot of Chelsea fans are trying to, just hoping that he'll just go back to the formation that that did it, that brought success, which was 3-4-3. But whether he will, I very much doubt it.
So you don't want him to leave, even though even with the way he's disrespected the board and clearly he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, I can understand it with the ball because we had that similar situation when Mourinho, after Mourinho won the league, and he was made manager, he was dubbed as manager, so he got to choose the signings, whereas Conte's a head coach, so frankly he's got to sort of be told what to do in terms of signings. But when Mourinho hadn't made a signing until until 20th of August for Baba Rahman and Papa Digilod, yeah, that one.
Digilobogy.
That one. When we signed those two, you just thought, why? We haven't replaced a midfield. We hadn't brought in a new midfielder because we hadn't gotten a second striker because Drogba had just left as well, and then we thought, oh, well, Bamford could come in and do that, but then he got loaned out. and it just did not. And then you just saw what happened to us within 4 months, and he was gone. So I think, I would like Conte to stay. I understand why the board don't want him to stay and would probably get rid of him, but I am getting slightly frustrated with his false nine formation. I just hope he changes it. Otherwise, if he keeps playing that for the rest of the season, then my opinion may change.
Yeah.
Europa League incoming.
It just seems like Chelsea are going to be in like a cycle of repeating. We'll hire a manager, we'll do well for a season, don't do very well second season, sack manager, repeat. In my opinion, we need to kind of strip away at the kind of the core, like Fabregas, David Luiz, Pedro. They're aging a bit now, and they're kind of like they're great players on their day, but they seem very toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we had that with Fabregas as well, because there was that when Spain won the World Cup, the players put the Barcelona shirt on him, and then season after, it's really like stupid. Like he wants to portray himself as like an Arsenal legend when he's playing, but then come next summer, he's faking injuries to go and watch the F1 in wherever it was, and then forcing his way out.
Do you think? Do you think? Sorry to cut you off. Do you think Chelsea have got a bit of a Alexis Sanchez situation with Hazard? Do you think?
No, nowhere near that bad.
But the thing is, if he wants to go,
He'll go.
Don't keep him. Like I don't see the
think he
point
should
in
go.
keeping a player
That's
who doesn't want to be
unhappy.
there.
Yeah,
there's no
'cause he just wouldn't play for the team.
'Cause
Otherwise, it would become like a Sanchez situation.
He's an influential member.
Yeah.
Like he's probably one of the most popular people in the dressing rooms.
Yeah.
If he's unhappy, that will spread to other players.
Mm.
Yeah.
So if he wants to go to Madrid, although it will hurt, like just
do it.
we'll get I don't know how
Million.
much,
There's
100 million maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he's
We can
always
replace-
Depends how you
replaceable,
spend
isn't
that though.
Yeah.
he? He is
Yeah, we don't do
replaceable.
like a Tottenham. Oh, great, 100 mil for Bale. Paulinho. Oh,
I'm not sure
He's at
Hazard's
Barcelona now.
replaceable. By the way,
Huh?
I'm
No.
not sure Hazard's replaceable. You were saying he's
Yeah,
replaceable.
no, I
but
think he is.
you think he is?
Yeah, sure.
Who
Why not?
would you replace him?
Who in football? Okay, Messi or Ronaldo. Other than them, who isn't replaceable?
I mean, actually, that isn't.
Hazard.
No, because actually, like the likes of like Kingsley Coman from Bayern.
Would he
Like
No,
would he
players-
come in
players
and perform at the same
maybe
level?
players aren't there now.
Oh, but they
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But it's always a risk. You can't say
yeah.
that you can't replace them straight away.
yeah.
I think if Hazard does go, Chelsea need. I know it won't be very popular, but a kind of transition phase,
Yeah.
like maybe 2 or 3 years where we don't win everything, but we bring in young players, like maybe someone like Leon Bailey,
Loftus Cheek.
yeah, and then like Tammy Abraham,
One bar.
Hudson-Odoi, like bring them through. If we get in a manager who will play the youth,
Eddie Howe.
It's not really the Abramovich way, though, is it?
well, Roman
he
is,
goes to all the youth games.
yeah, he's really interested in the youth. It's just we appoint managers who don't play the youth.
So it's still the backwards thinking sort of thing.
Like that's why Enrique's being linked. I don't know. I don't think he'll play the youth.
Who, Luis Enrique?
Yeah.
You might.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who? Right. Conte leaves at the end of the season. Who replaces him?
Don't say Ancelotti.
I mean, I wouldn't mind Ancelotti, but I think he'd prefer a move to Arsenal.
Yeah, I doubt he'd go back there.
I think he would.
But
It's a job, isn't it?
like, yeah, no, but with the security of the job, I don't think
No,
he'd go
yeah.
back.
There's way more security.
Yeah.
I think he would, but I think he'd value a move to Arsenal.
more.
Yeah.
And after what happened at Bayern, I don't think he'd want to be in that
Yeah.
type of situation again.
I
Yeah.
get that. Personally, I don't think we should go for like one of the big name managers. Like
Get Paul Clement in.
like
Give it
Luis
Giggsy till the end of the
Luis
season.
Enrique's been linked. Maurizio Sarri from Napoli's been linked. Thomas Tuchel, although apparently he's going to Bayern Munich now.
Oh, fair enough.
I think we should go somewhere outside the box. Maybe someone like Eddie Howe
Yeah.
or someone like Julian Nagelsmann from
Yeah.
Hoffenheim, a young up and coming manager. Like he'll play the youth. He'll play a different way, And then if we are going through that transition phase, he can be the one. Like, I think, like when we had Andre Villas-Boas, he was the right thinking manager at the wrong time.
Mm.
We had the old guard, as it was, Lampard, Terry, Cech.
Yeah, it didn't help when he was
Because
dropping.
he tried to get them out, didn't he?
Yeah,
But that was not a good move.
like now they're gone. I think it's time.
yeah,
Like bring in a new core of players. Get rid of like Cahill, like all the players I mentioned
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah.
Bring in a new core.
who would you
the
keep
next
from? So
generation.
who would you keep from that core squad at the moment? Like, would you keep? Obviously, you keep Christensen.
Well,
Willian.
He's
Yeah,
not really a
Willian,
core part
like-
of the squad at the moment.
Who, Christensen?
Not like when you're saying like David Luiz, Gary Cahill.
Like the
He's not.
influential members of
core.
the dressing room.
Yeah.
Obviously, you need a few of them, but the likes of Cahill aren't in the team anymore. David Luiz, Pedro, he's 31, 32 now, I think.
Yeah.
Fabregas, he's getting on a bit.
Yeah,
Like even Marcos Alonso. I mean, he's a very good wing back, but is he a long term?
No.
Well, and also it depends like the system that we play.
Yeah, we're not going. I don't think we'll play three at the back next year.
Mm.
So that would be implications for a lot of players.
Yeah,
Going back to the managers, if you're Nagelsmann or whatever, or Howe, would you want to go to Chelsea knowing the structure that they have?
I
Of
think-
two,
well,
two,
that's a good
3
point.
years
Yeah,
tops.
2 years.
I mean,
and
for
you're
someone
You're
done.
not
like
going to want to
Howe,
do that. Are you?
I mean, how long has Eddie Howe been at Bournemouth now?
In his
Long
second
time.
one since 2012, he was there before, but he went
Yeah.
to Burnley then.
So
came
he's
back.
been there for a good 6 years, and he's been in the Premier League for about, is it 3
3
years?
This third season this year, I think.
See, I'd probably give him one more season at Bournemouth, frankly. I think, no, just to see, like, because obviously they've survived the last 2 Premier Leagues, and this season's going to be a bit sort of, you know,
They finished ninth
Yeah,
last
let's
season.
not forget
Yeah.
this is Bournemouth. If you actually look at
They're
the club,
yeah.
not like no offense, I'm saying
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
doing like amazing. When you
Yeah.
look at some of the teams in the Championship, even like League One,
mm,
that are
Oh,
bigger
yeah.
clubs than Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you can't take that away.
Imagine
from it.
Eddie Howe with all the like he's got great nous. Um,
200 Yadal points.
like he's British, so that's
300.
And then, like, imagine if you give him 300 million to spend. He might not spend
yeah,
it
you
all.
might, but I don't think that's a bad
Give
thing
you
if he
back your
doesn't
change.
spend it.
Yeah,
Mm.
So,
He would
then
just
you
buy
can-
the players that he would feel that is the key
and
issue.
he'd bring in
Benica
the
Phobe.
youth.
Mm.
But I'll reiterate, you may want him, but would he want to go?
I think he'd need certain promises.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
he'd
think-
need.
He'd need job security, I
Yeah,
think, and
he
that's something that the club, I don't think, can offer.
He would need to be guaranteed
But,
to
like-
allow his own development, and as Matty says, I don't
Like-
think the club can offer that.
It seems like Roman Abramovich wants to create a dynasty.
Yeah, because that was meant to be Mourinho. That's what they hired him for. They said
Yeah,
that he was
but
going to be doing that.
Mourinho isn't a dynasty manager. He's a
He gets bored in
Yeah.
3 years and like he
4
won't-
years and then quit
Yeah,
or get
it's the
sacked.
same with
Spend all
Pep
the
as
money.
well. I mean, as much
Yeah.
as Man City thinking now, like, oh, we've got Pep Guardiola for years to come, he'll
No.
get bored.
Yeah.
He'll want a
go
new
back
project.
He'll go back
But
to Spain or
I think,
France.
actually, probably France.
Yeah.
Because
PSG.
he's running out of different places to go, really.
yeah.
Mm.
Like, because I
America.
don't see him
Italy.
managing. Okay, France and Italy, and then where? Because, like,
Qatar.
I reckon he might do. He
China.
might do a France then, or either way. I don't know which way around. And then towards the end of his career, he might go MLS.
It's like
Yeah, I
but
can
he's-
see him going
he's
somewhere in
still
payday.
really young, though.
It's
Yeah,
like
well,
a
that's what I'm
football
saying. Yeah,
manager
yeah.
stadium.
Well,
But so this is his second season at City.
I can see him
Say he
doing
does
another
another
2.
3-year cycle,
Yeah,
and then he does 3 years in France, 3 years in Italy. That's only 7 years.
yeah.
Yeah,
And he's still going to be really young. And
could go back to Barca.
yeah, but
He'll do it all again.
wouldn't he be a bit bored?
Ajax.
Yeah.
Probably.
I
Real
do-
Madrid, spice it up.
I do agree with Connor. I can see him going somewhere like the MLS or Qatar or China just for
a brief spell.
retire,
laugh.
Nice holiday.
retire in the sun. Or
Yeah.
China.
For a lad's holiday.
But yeah, in like, how old is he? Like what? 20 years time? No, I'm not saying he's 20 years old.
Yeah, I'm not sure how old he is, but he's
He's
young.
like 70.
But I mean, like-
something like that.
Like with Ryan talking about Chelsea's transition period, the only way they're going to get that transition period is by hiring a manager that allows to have that dynasty sort of thing.
Who do you want, Matthew?
I wouldn't mind Eddie Howe, frankly. I think he would bring his own vision to the club, and I think he would play a lot of the youth. He would only invest into players that he felt were good enough or at least fit his idea. It'd just be sort of that manager that, would definitely make something of the club in terms of like give a good future to the club, and not be a short-term manager that just comes in, comes out like Luis Enrique will be if he came, So I think it'd just be better if we hired a younger manager to just show to the board that they can. If that means not winning anything for like 2 years or whatever, then fine. But I think as fans, we want to see another sort of new guard to replace the old guard, which we haven't really yet replaced. We haven't replaced we did with Costa for Drogba, but he's gone again. We haven't really found another Lampard. Christensen could possibly be the new Terry, but Courtois is just not going to be checked. That's just a fact. I think he's just not in it.
His heart's in Spain, apparently.
Yeah, 'cause that's where his kids are.
Do you reckon Masunda could replace Hazard?
No.
No.
All right.
Although I love it, but I think him going on loan to Celtic for 18 months is kind of the writing on the wall, because if it was 6 months, I could see him coming back into the first team. But considering it's 18 months, he did sign a 5-year deal, but in 18 months' time, he'll probably get another loan. And then by that point,
It'll just be sold.
Yeah.
It'll just be money making.
How old is he now?
2021, I think.
He's wasting away his career. If he, 5 years
Arsenal,
of loans?
Arsenal, what am I about? Chelsea are just chucking away his career.
Like they do
We've
with a
choked
few
away so
players.
many youth careers. Like we had Kevin De Bruyne,
Oh yeah, you
Like,
really.
when he was
Lukaku, Salah.
His
Lukaku.
career was ruined.
Salah.
By Chelsea, De Bruyne.
Yeah, but like
what is he
not
on?
ruined,
where is
but just like imagine if we gave a chance. I know like the likes of De Bruyne, Lukaku, Salah weren't the players they are now. Sorry, at Chelsea.
Yeah.
But imagine if we gave them a chance.
Yeah.
Like Harry Kane, he was given a chance at Tottenham when maybe like there were better options out there, but he hit the ground running, and look at him now.
Mm.
He was terrible, isn't he?
That's something Chelsea. I think that's something Chelsea are going to have to look at, possibly start doing if they
Not
want.
the Chelsea way though.
Well,
But like the fans want to see another John Terry.
yeah.
but
Is the fan perspective the Chelsea way?
No.
like they don't really, no football club really anymore at our level takes what the fans want into perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think
It's
lower
sad.
league, the fans get what they want, but I think
Yeah.
at these big businesses,
Johnson
I won't
out.
say football clubs.
Have you got the
I
Johnson
won't
out
say
ban?
football clubs. I would say at these big businesses, it's not always about the fans, which is a shame, really, because football should be all about the fans.
I can
Well-
understand though. I mean, if I was an owner of a football club, I would.
big
Well, I mean,
business.
I'd focus more than Kroenke or whatever, but I would still try. I'd still run it like a business because I want money.
Yeah, but they make so much of it that it's so silly that
Yeah.
Yeah, they.
That-
I would invest more back
It's the
into
way
the
it's
club
going, though, isn't
than
it?
they do. But
Will the bubble burst?
No,
no,
no.
it'll get
No,
bigger and
just
bigger
get
and bigger and bigger.
More
and bigger.
TV deals. Like
I
you know
hope it
how
bursts.
you know how in Joe's lecture he said like in America
Who's
they
Joe?
get to watch every game,
Yeah.
but in here we only get to watch the limited.
Yeah.
Eventually, it probably be in this country where we do get to. It probably,
Maybe,
That's
it
what I
probably
was-
but
will.
because
I don't
of
know.
When I
the
stopped
law
watching
that
football.
about 3:00 kickoffs, we probably won't, unless
Yeah, but
Unless
unless
they
that
change
changes.
it.
yeah.
unless they change the
Change the
law
law.
or they don't do 3:00 kickoffs anymore,
Mm,
which would
Which is-
break with tradition.
Yeah.
mm.
But
Vidal
shouldn't
would
this
be
be saved
fuming.
for next week's
It
podcast?
should be. That's a good point.
yeah.
I'm just going to plug next week's podcast. Next week, we're going to be looking at the price of football in various ways and how it's affecting fans and things like that. I'm sure we've all got strong opinions. We won't go on to that now.
Can I say one or
No,
sort of
you
one
can't. Right then, no,
bit of
go-
opinion about? So we're talking about Chelsea and Arsenal doing badly.
Chelsea.
Can we just appreciate that how difficult it must be with the other 4 teams above us, how well they're doing to
Yeah.
break into that? Like
Yeah.
how how can you compete with a City? How can you compete with a United when they're with what they're
Whoa.
spending and
Oh, right,
Mourinho?
okay. Well, you have
Um,
got the budget to compete with them.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but we're not spending. Tottenham have just been hit with this flux of brilliant players that have worked well together with a good manager.
Because he plays the youth. Like
yeah,
Dele
well,
Alli,
he
he was
trusted
signed
them.
from MK Dons.
And
Yeah.
put straight in the team.
Fraud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Well,
Scored
yeah,
on his debut as well.
it's
Marcus
just
Rashford.
Like when Lewis Baker went on loan to MK Dons, he put Dele Alli out the team, and we rejected to sign Dele Alli because we had Lewis Baker, and Dele Alli.
Who's Lewis Baker?
Exactly.
Dele Alli is now an England regular. He'll be in the World Cup squad probably.
I hope not.
Maybe.
Hey, he's not
Check-
in mine.
Check
World Cup
last week's
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah.
He's a Tottenham regular. He was in PFA Team of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
And Lewis Baker, after 2 years on loan in Holland at Vitesse,
Oh, for God's
he's
sakes.
now struggling to break into a Middlesbrough team.
Yes.
Well, that's the Chelsea way, isn't it?
that is the Chelsea way.
Well, yeah.
Right, I've got one final question for you. Should we feel sorry? Firstly, right, I started first. Should we feel sorry for Arsenal fans at the moment?
Yes. Please.
No. Basically.
Thanks, Ryan.
Why don't you feel sorry for Arsenal fans?
Because football's football.
Yeah.
Things
I mean,
happen.
Yeah.
no one should feel sorry for anyone in football.
Well said. Well,
Like,
I think unless
Yeah.
you know you got like an owner that's run the
Maybe
club into the ground.
Yeah, okay.
I'm talking like
There's
outside
like-
the
Yeah.
football league.
Oh
into
yeah,
the
maybe
ground,
if you're
but,
like
you know,
a Portsmouth, then you'd
Yeah.
feel sorry.
yeah,
but
Yeah.
this is Premier League football.
yeah.
No one has to feel sorry
this
for
is
anyone.
Brexit.
No.
If you look at Dulwich Hamlet, what's going
Yeah.
on there? They're
You
They-
feel sorry for them.
they're homeless, nameless. You'd feel sorry for them. You don't feel sorry for Arsenal because they're
No.
not going to get Champions
Yeah.
League.
Yeah.
And the
No,
same with Chelsea. Don't feel sorry for Chelsea.
No.
You
No.
can't really feel sorry for them either, you know. They literally won the Premier League last year, so I mean, how can you go, oh no, you're fifth, but you're still the champions of England, so I mean, yeah, it's all bad
You've
for
only
you.
spent 300 million on transfers.
Jesus, yeah.
Must be hard.
Oh, here's another 300 million from all of us, like, you know. No, there's...
That's just from you, isn't it, Matthew?
Oh.
Right, are we ready to wrap up there?
Yeah.
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 Nothing else you want to quickly scream at me?
I've got one more thing.
Oh, go for it, right?
Just going back to the Chelsea thing, Frank Lampard. Like we're in the future, maybe not to replace Conte, but in the
Ooh.
future, like he's rejected jobs at Oxford and MK Dons. I think if we get him in, like maybe like a gigs type thing at United, to eventually maybe if we don't go
Lampard, Terry, double manager.
if we don't go for Howe or Nagelsmann as I'd like to, if we go for Enrique, and he's another 3-year manager,
Yeah.
maybe get Lampard in.
Cool, because he started coaching the under... what was it?
Well,
I saw-
he's helping out with Jody Morris with the under
that was it.
18s.
Yeah.
So someone like him to eventually step up.
I think that's how it should be done at all clubs, really.
Mm.
Like the Ajax way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're very good
Bring-
for doing that.
Bring that all. Yeah.
Sorry, I just picked myself up off the floor.
Bring your old guys back to the club.
Show them some respect.
Yeah.
Respect your elders.
Can we,
Arsene didn't respect Thierry.
Thierry,
Yeah.
Thierry, Dennis, and Paddy.
Paddy
Oh,
Vera. Paddy
Triple
Vera and
triple
Terry
But
man.
Henry.
he's at New York, so I mean, he's got the...
He's getting
He's building up the
experience.
experience.
He's not got
Not
it.
ready
But
yet.
can you make the jump from MLS to Arsenal?
Yeah,
No,
Bob
that's what I'm
Bradley
saying. He's not
couldn't.
ready yet.
So
Brad Bob.
I'd wait.
Not Migs.
Till-
Wait, Megnots.
I'd wait till Paddy Vera has managed in Europe for a season or two, if he does.
Yeah.
I think he will.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's probably the goal for him.
See,
Either City
And
or
the
Arsenal is the goal for him.
yeah.
That's it.
Very nice.
I reckon he might end up at City. It's going to be sad to
Could
see,
do.
but he will
Mm.
probably.
Right. Is that everything?
Yep, that is.
Yeah.
We're all done. We're all debated out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool,
Nice
cool,
one.
cool.
Cool.
Okay.
Right.
cool.
So, this has been the Unplayables podcast, the second episode. If you haven't checked out the first one yet, be sure to do that. It is up on YouTube now. I can say, and
Follow our Twitter.
Yes, follow us on Twitter at is it Unplayables Pod?
Yes.
Yes, it is. And please give this a like if you think it's good enough.
Comment
Yeah,
stuff.
comment. Obviously,
Your
comment
thoughts
your thoughts on
on
Arsenal and
if you're-
Chelsea.
Wenger out,
If
Wenger in,
you're-
Conte in, Conte out.
Yeah,
Comment-
shake
Shake
all
it
the
all
Conte
about.
belt.
Comment your suggestions of what we should discuss.
Yeah, anything you want us to talk about.
in future podcasts.
Yeah, we will talk about.
And any potential guests.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, if you want to come on,
I have got
Give
Wayne
us a
Rooney's
shout.
phone
Tweet
number.
us.
Yeah,
at Unplayables Pod.
the DMs are always open.
Oh,
Yeah.
there.
Right, so
Just tweet us. We've got like 12 followers. It's
Exactly,
fine. We'll
yeah.
see it.
Well,
shush,
now
shush.
we have about
We've
200
Yeah, don't
million.
forget we just got
A
Oh, yeah,
million
sorry.
views on our last video.
yeah.
Sorry.
So
Haven't
thanks for that,
checked it.
guys. Do you want to say goodbye?
See
Bye.
ya.
See you. Goodbye.
See you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening or watching, whichever it is. Obviously, it's listening. But yeah, we've been the Unplayables. See you in the next one.